Go ahead and open up your Cisco Packet Tracer. Together, we're going to be working on a beginner CCNA lab. Majority of the commands that I'm going to be typing in, I have already covered on previous videos on my channel. If you are unfamiliar with them, please visit my previous video. Let's get started. We're going to, first thing, change the host name to switch 1. We're going to enable a secret, pinball. We're going to put in a banner, message of the day, fun Cisco lab. We're going to edit the line console 0 to protect our console port on the switch. Add a password to it. Enable the login. Put in exec timeout 0 and logging synchronous. Exit. We're going to put in no IP domain lookup. We're going to go into line VTY 0 to 15. Put in a password basketball. Login. Exec timeout 30 for 30 minutes. Logging synchronous. Exit. Now that our switch is basic configuration, we are going to copy the running config to the startup config, just for save. I'm also going to change this to SW1. We're going to add a few computers. We're going to be using a copper straight through cable to connect a computer to a switch. So PC1 is connected to port 1, PC2 is connected to port 2. This is going to be a department. The department is going to be sales. Next, we'll add another computer here. This group is the management. With the copper straight through cable, we're going to connect the third PC to the third port. Now we're going to add in a router so we can do routing on a stick. We're going to let's go ahead and configure our router. Enable config t hostname r on stick. So now we'll just leave that there for now. The next thing we're going to do is configure those VLANs. Our sales department will be in VLAN 5, and our management department will be in VLAN 58. Our sales department will have an IP address of 10.0.0.0/24. Our management will be 192.168.0.1.0, sorry. 192.1. Our management will be 192.168.0.0/24. We'll go into our switches. Conf T. Configure the terminal. We'll go into the first two interfaces. We're going to make sure they can access those VLANs. We just created the first VLAN. Oh, got to make sure to no shut them too. Make sure those interfaces are on. Now we can go into interface VLAN 5 to turn it on. And now we can go into our third interface. Oh, I missed it again. Got to remember to do no shut. Go into the interface VLAN 58. Now it's on. Show VLAN. Now we can see we have both of those VLANs configured with the ports assigned to them. Now let's rename those VLANs because they're quite an eyesore. Configure terminal. VLAN 5. Name. Sales. We can go to VLAN 58. Name. Management. Show VLAN brief. Now we have those VLANs configured. Now there's a security flaw. All of our other ports are on VLAN 1, which is the default VLAN, and it's active. Just about every hacker knows that the default VLAN is 1. So we're going to change some things around here. We'll go into Configure Terminal, go into Interface VLAN 1, and type in Shutdown. Make sure it's not active. The next thing we'll do, right now we're using interfaces 1, 2, and 3. 4 to 24 are all inactive, not being used right now. So what we're going to do is go interface, FA, interface range, FA4, all the way to 24. And we're going to do access VLAN switch port access VLAN 100, or even do 98. Now we'll go to interface VLAN 98 and shut down. Make sure it's down. Now if we go show VLAN brief, we will see we still have those gigabyte 1 and 2 on. So we'll go ahead and go to configure terminal, interfaces G0, interface range G01 to 2. Switch port access VLAN 98. Exit. Show VLAN brief. See now all of these ports are now hidden on a VLAN 98. The default VLAN has nothing on it. It's not on. Nobody can get to it and tinker with anything. Let's proceed. The next thing we need to do is connect the switch to the router. We're going to be using a copper straight through cable for that. Plug it into the gigabit Ethernet 1 port on both devices. We'll go into the switch, configure terminal, interface, go into that gigabyte 1 where you just plugged it into. We're going to do switch mode trunk. That's all. So now that we've activated the trunk port, we type in no shutdown to turn that on. We're going to go into our router and go into interface gigabyte 1, no shut. Now it's on. And now we need to figure out how to do inter-VLAN routing in between them using the router on a stick. So let's go into the gigabyte 1. That's where the switch is connected. But we want a sub-interface for the VLAN in VLAN 5 on ports 1 and 2 on the switch. So we're going to create a custom one. You could put any number in here, but I'm just going to put 5 to keep things simple. Sub-interface 5 has been created for VLAN 5. We'll type in encapsulation .1q. And we'll type in the ID of the VLAN, which is 5. Type in the IP address, 10.0.0.1.255.255.255.0. We'll type in IP routing. We're going to do the same thing for VLAN 58. .192.168.0.1 255.255.255.0 IP routing. Now we can go ahead and configure the IP addresses on these desktop computers. 10.0.0.50. 255.255.255.0 for the subnet mask. And we're going to be putting the gateway as the router's sub-interface. 10.0.0.1. 0.0.51. We're using this router's interface again here. And now this one's in a different VLAN. So this is the sub interface of the routers that we created for the VLAN 58. Now let's try pinging the computers in the sales department. As we can see, it works. We have completed a quick lab on routing and switching with VLANs. This is very basic tutorial, a very basic lab. If there's anything that confused you in this video, I explain it all very much in depth in previous videos. This video is more of a review. Thank you for watching. I hope you did the lab with me. I'll see you on the next video.